So my husband suggested that I did a video based on medical gaslighting. Now, medical gaslighting seems to be out there quite a lot at the moment. For instance, it's something that I've experienced quite a few times. I'm not sure if it is, maybe somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. The weight side of things, being accused of your weight constantly having all these impacts on your health. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that's not true. But for instance, like with my back and with my overall day-to-day pain, I actually believe it was worse when I'd lost the weight rather than when I was bigger. And I'm definitely experiencing that again now. But I remember going to see a physiotherapist about my back, and I approached the subject. It was just before I got diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and I was made aware of it. I knew what it was. And I said, look, do you think I could have that? And he said, oh, no. He said, all this is just in your head. And that is degrading. And it's also quite worrying in a sense that professionals are just so quick to go, oh, no, you've got something wrong with your mind. It's the way your brain works. It's all in your head. I've had a couple of instances at the Bath RUH where I've actually been overdosed. I was in again with my back, and I was given morphine, and the nurse came out. Obviously, it's down to the nurses to make sure they keep a record of what time you take your medication, when your last dose was given, not the patient. The patient is in there to be looked after, to be taken care of, because they're so unwell, because they're in so much pain. So you're not going, oh, when was my last medication? Oh, yeah, I'll keep note of that. And I was given more medication on top of the morphine, and I just instantly felt so ill. It was like I was burning from the inside. It was horrible. And I remember getting up and getting to the bathroom as quickly as I physically could. And I didn't get to the toilet. I just threw up, and it went everywhere. I've never, ever, ever been sick like that before. And there was another incident, excuse me, very similar to that, where I was overdosed again and was extremely poorly. After I came out of theatre from having my gallbladder removed, my husband had gone home at this point, and I was told that I needed to sort of try and mobilise as quickly as I could. But if I needed the toilet, then instead of bringing me a commode, I'd need to walk to the toilet, which wasn't too far away, and I had my crutches, because obviously my back mainly. But I got up, and I tried calling for a nurse. No one came, so I was like, right. And I waited half an hour, so I got up and decided to go myself, because I didn't want to wet myself. Like, it's bad enough with the incontinence the way it is, but it just felt really degrading to be left like that. So I got up, I managed to get to the toilet, and I collapsed, and it was awful. I pulled my stomach, and I literally maybe a couple of hours out of surgery at that, and I felt so rough, and yeah, I collapsed in the toilet. And the nurse had a go at me because she told me to wait. And I had waited, and I had waited and waited, and I couldn't wait anymore. And she had a right go at me about it, as if I was a member of staff, not a patient. There's been times where I've gone in and, like, for instance, with my appendicitis, which turned out to be cancer, had 3 registrars around my bed, 4 registrars around my bed. 3 of them agreed that they wanted to operate, and the 4th one said no, because I had fibromyalgia. I probably wasn't in any pain at all, so they didn't need to do surgery. And like I said, God forbid if they'd gone along with what she said, because I might not be here doing these videos now. There's so many instances. When I broke my thumb at 15 at school. It was an accident at school, and I was put in plaster cast for 6 weeks. And after 6 weeks, I kept saying that I'm in lots of pain with my thumb. And they were like, oh no, it's fixed, you've had a cast on, there's nothing wrong with it. And I remember being made to feel like really, really bad for the fact that I was still in pain, that I never spoke up about it anymore. And as I said, with my back, just being treated like I was going crazy. At that point, they didn't know that I obviously had this facet joint disease. And it was only by being sent to a private consultant that they found this out. And as soon as I started treatment for it, there was a difference. Obviously, it's kind of reverted now, like the treatment's sort of worn off. And I don't know what the long sort of road is with that. But for years, I was just told it was a herniated disc and I shouldn't be in the level of pain I was in. But I was in the level of pain I was in. You know, I was collapsing. I was constantly falling over stuff, and I still am. And yeah, I just got palmed off and palmed off. So medical gaslighting is a major, major, major factor. And so many people go through it, and a lot of people don't speak up about it. So yeah, I thought I'd touch on that because that seems to be quite a prominent thing at the moment, that we're seeing lots of medical gaslighting videos floating around. And yeah, I'm sure I'll probably think of more instances over the years that I've been going backwards and forwards to the hospital with various things that are wrong with me. So yeah, just thought I'd touch on that.